Hi, my name is Jonathan Kiehl. This is my wife Teresa. We are missionaries in Chantapunta, Ecuador, in the Amazon jungle, where we've been for almost 3 years. And we've been lay missionaries, lay Catholic missionaries with Family Missions Company for going on 8 years now. We started in 2012 after going on a mission trip to Mexico in May, and decided we wanted to leave the lives that we knew and start an adventure of the life in foreign missions. And as we've been kind of reflecting during this time of the pandemic and being stuck in the house a lot, or at least in our yard, we've reflected on how can we share some of our failures, our successes, the things that we've learned with other families who are thinking about becoming missionaries. Some have contacted us, asked us questions, and we thought, why not just do a video on YouTube to help hopefully many different families who are wondering, how do we start missions? If that's something you're feeling a desire to do, how do you stay in mission? How do you support yourself? What's life like? How do you have a family? Things of that nature.
Like Jonathan said, we've been missionaries now since 2012. For us, it was a real interesting decision. I had wanted to be a missionary for a good long time, ever since we'd been married and before that even. And it took us 10 years of marriage before we were actually able to make the decision to come into foreign missions. And it was a challenge to make that happen. But it did, because the Lord wanted it to happen, and it worked out. And now we've been happily living in missions for the past 8 years or so. And so we do think that we have maybe a little bit that we could share, a little bit of knowledge that other people can glean some information from. As we sit here and we discuss a little bit about what our life is like, we just want to also be able to share our life with those who maybe are not interested in missions, but just want to know what missions like with a family of 8 children here in Ecuador. You'll be able to see right behind us, that's our backyard, which is really kind of a fun little place to be. Someday we'll show you pictures of what that looked like before we lived here. We had to do a lot of work out there. But we really hope that this is an enjoyable, informative video podcast for you guys. Also, if y'all ever have any questions, feel free to contact us. You can contact us through our Family Missions Company email, which is JT for Jonathan Teresa Kiehl. It's KIEHL at familymissionscompany.com. You could also find us on Facebook, Jonathan or Teresa Kiehl, or you could read our blog, which is frommeTomissionary.wordpress.com.
And, giving a little bit about who we are, as we said before we started missionary work in 2012, I was a Catholic school teacher in Macon, Georgia at that time, and we decided to bring our family on a short-term mission trip at the end of the school year in May. And we went out, we encountered the poor, we encountered just the beautiful adventure of being missionary companions of our Lord. And we decided that this is the life that we wanted to give to our children, that we wanted to give to the people that we encountered in the deserts of Mexico. And so we left the life that we knew and started this beautiful life of missions. And it's been, it's had its challenges. It's oftentimes, the beauty of missions is also the cross of missions. We had a child named Ezekiel who was born in 2013 on the day Pope Francis was elected Pope in Mexico, in a little small town called General Cepeda. And on Our Lady's birthday, September 8th, 2014, at 18 months, he passed away. And that honestly really gave us a new missionary impulse, but also it gave us a taste of the cross, and it was a profound experience for us, and I think it's something that we carry everywhere with us, and we just want to kind of use some of these adventures and these pains, these crosses, these stories that we've encountered, that we've lived, and hopefully pass on a little bit of this experience to the people here who are watching. We are obviously not professionals. We're doing this on a tablet. We don't have any special microphone. I don't have any makeup on that I know of. We are just passionate about missions and wanted to share with people how to get into the game of missions, how to not just kind of sit back and donate, which is awesome. We appreciate all of our donors. Not just go on a short-term trip or lead a short-term trip or be back in the United States praying for missionaries or giving advice to on how you think it should be, but really we want to help those people who want to leave the comforts of home, the comforts of knowing what your life is like, the comforts of the safety that you can feel at home, and walk out on the water with Jesus like Peter did. One thing you can expect from this podcast or YouTube series from us is we're going to be really honest with you. We're not going to whitewash missions. It's oftentimes very challenging. We feel the same fears that many of you feel with our children, how they will encounter the world around them, the things that they may or may not miss out on. We have the same questions in our minds. How will our kids get to college? How will their grades at a school in Ecuador transfer to school life in the United States? And we're going to share those with you. We're going to try to dispel and disillusion kind of a missionary life that seems just all pleasant and smiles, and give you kind of a more realistic and holistic idea of missions. It's beautiful, and it's a wonderful life, but it does have its hardships, it does have its struggles.
But I think for today, for this podcast, it's going to be all for now. We don't want to keep these things very long. We want to hopefully keep them between 3 to 5 minutes, maybe a little bit longer depending on the subject. But we also want to leave you always with an inspirational quote, one of my favorites. It's a quote from St. Catherine of Siena, and that is, "If you are who you should be, then you will set the world on fire." So let's all go out there and do what God created us to do, and let's change this world.
God bless you.